And let me tell you, if we break this story open, if we're able to continue this appeal and they don't find a way to weasel out of it in court, it's going to blow J6 open.
Welcome in. Set your feet firmly on the floor, roll your shoulders back. Deep breath, gratitude up, stress down. May your mind be clear and your heart be brave. Let's tell the truth and do some good. This is War Paint. Raise your cup. 1, 2, 3, simultaneous sip. It is so good to see you, my friend. Welcome to War Paint. Tell the people who don't already know, even though they should. Who is David Summerall? What do you do, man?
I'm a carpenter from East Texas. I just swing a hammer
just
for a
like the good Lord.
Yeah, no, not quite. But I'm like his distant, evil little mean cousin or something. I don't know, but just try to do my part, be a good citizen, and add to the kingdom. You know me. I just got caught up in this J6 thing. We were doing demand free speech stuff. I've been an activist in ways for a long time. Started Stop Hate back in the 90s because I saw what the media did during the Rodney King stuff, the whole propaganda machine. And it was sad to see people fall for it. It still is, and the government's honed its skills and it's better and better. But the J6 thing, I jumped in. I was there. My friends were there. Your friends were there. You were there. Everybody was there. Everybody got in trouble. And we knew that we had to be the ones to get us out. The government never helped us. The media never helped us. They never got anyone out of jail. They never got anyone out of trouble. They never did anything. It was the people and the president. And that's the way we need to continue that relationship and cut these politicians out. We'll talk about that more. But videos, investigator, put out documentaries, testified, all over the place, done everything I can to, help move the needle for the J6ers. It's been a horrible experience and it's still going on. We'll talk about that too.
Of course we will. Well, then, let's just jump right into it, man. What's going on right now? What's the latest? Because I know that there's been, the FBI's been putting their foot on your neck a little bit. So why don't we talk about, what you've been facing most recently?
Well, I think that's the topic at hand. It's appropriate to start there because a week and a half ago or so, I'm sitting in my backyard on my back porch and working as I do. And I hear this guy say, "Mr. Summerall," and I look across my backyard into my neighbor's yard, halfway through between our houses. They're not on the street, not knocking on the front door. And he said, "Can we talk to you for a minute?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He said, "You mean to come around there?" I said, "No, I'll meet you in the front." So he started walking around the front. Instead of going through the house, I kind of went around behind him, kind of ended up walking up behind him on the sidewalk around the front side yard. And I thought it was the sales guys, man. I didn't know. They're parked in front of the house this time. The feds don't park in front of the house, and I think it's two sales guys because I'd talked to some people earlier and I thought they were going to send somebody or something. And I told them not to, and I was kind of upset.
Right.
And this guy says, "Yeah, I'm such and such with the FBI." And the other guy says, "And I'm so-and-so from Homeland Security." And I thought, okay, so.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I guess that we should just go ahead and figure this. Let's dance. Let's do this. What do you got? Well, Mr. Summerall, you made some comments on social media about a jury. And that's all. It's not any more specific. And I said, okay, so let me ask you this. I said, did I break any laws? Did I cross any lines? Did I do something wrong? And he said, well, no. And I said, so why are you here? And he said, well, we're just here to check a box. What does that mean, to check a box? To intimidate me? To come scare me? To scare my family? We went through this. This is my 6th FBI visit. They've never had a warrant. They've never had. I've always been friendly. Come by. We'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know. Why aren't you here asking me about my expertise in January 6th? Because you're covering for your friends, the judges, the jurors, ongoing. And I have all the evidence that I need. And I'm very upset. A lot of people, are you scared? Are you intimidated? They're going to kill you. I'm motivated and I'm infuriated because they shouldn't be coming to my head. This is Trump and Kash Patel. Or are these rogue agents that they didn't get rid of still sitting in Dallas talking to that lead juror because he's a lawyer, or talking to that judge, or because the judge told the juror, hey, this defendant's coming after you? Then the juror calls the FBI. Oh, because a couple of weeks ago I put out, we're this much closer to getting a judge and a juror thrown in prison for what they did to a J6er. And let me tell you, if we break this story open, if we're able to continue this appeal and they don't find a way to weasel out of it in court, it's going to blow J6 open, right all the way to Trump's impeachment. I swear this is the biggest thing, and no media is covering it. Now, where if Julie Kelly or Darren Beatty had an FBI visit over J6, it would be all over the news. But this is not. So are they still helping facilitate this? I mean, why are they intimidating me about a case that I testified in a year ago just for making a social media comment that I didn't break the law, I didn't cross the line, I didn't say anything wrong? They're just here to check a box. So what we did was FOIA them and say, okay, who told you to make a box and who told you to put a check in it? Why are you here? Who called? Because I asked them when they were here. I said, guys, you can't tell me the accuser, can you? They said, no, you know how it works. I said, I do. I said, then do me a favor. Go back to the office and crack open this certain case. And I told them, Cindy Young, open her case. Because if you'll do your homework, see, I said, last time you guys were here from your office in Frisco, I said, y'all Dallas or Frisco? They said, we're Frisco. I said, okay. Last Frisco guys that were here didn't know that the FBI from Dallas had sat at my table multiple times in my home, that we have a good relationship. They came here asking about guns and militias. And he said, yeah, I know. You own from BB guns up. And I said, yeah, because that's what I told the other guy. I said, yeah, that's right. And I said, because everyone in Texas owns guns, right? And he said, that's right. He said, I did my homework. And I said, good. Listen, I really appreciate that. I said, so let me ask you this. When you get back to the office today, are you going to take that piece of paper and crumble it up and throw it in the trash can because everything cleared out and all's good and I didn't do anything wrong? Are you just going to throw that in the trash? He said, no, I'm going to go put it in your file. I said, my file? He said, yeah, I did my homework. I studied your file. I said, you're going to put it in my file? He said, well, yeah. I said, well, that's weird. I have a file. He said, well, yeah. I said, well, because my lawyer FOIA'd my file from the FBI and y'all say I don't have one. But you're telling me I do have one? That's weird. What do you think? And he was like, he's got me again. I hate this guy, right? So the only reason they wouldn't give me my file is if there's an open investigation on me. So what's that about? Is there an open investigation? Am I being investigated? What's the deal? Why don't you have a warrant? Why aren't you subpoenaing me? You know, these are all real things. And my family thought this was over. And, you know, I'll go down, swing and fight, and I'm going to take down as many people as I can when I go. That's just me. But my family doesn't deserve that, man. They thought this was, and now there's a risk that I could be taken away or what? Otherwise, why are they here?
Yeah,
exactly. Terrorism.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready